Today's guest has turned her creativity into a thriving brand that makes women feel beautiful and confident. So stay tuned and watch for more.
De Negocio a Negocio es patrocinado por Engente Connect.
Welcome to the Negocio a Negocio, a podcast created to highlight the wonderful stories of some of the entrepreneurs here in the Valley. Today's guest, Perla Carrillo, is the founder of Pearlie Things here in Arizona. And we want to share with you guys her story, her struggles, and the real thing. So welcome, Perla, to the Negocio a Negocio.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, I'm excited to hear your journey because you know what? A lot of people, they start with ideas that sound great, and sometimes creativity takes over and then it doesn't turn into anything. And when I was listening on how you have used your journey in life to get to where you are today, I was like, oh my gosh, women need to listen to this. And they need to, again, start connecting with women like you. So tell me a little bit about you and how you came up with Pearlie Things.
So it started out with pursuing my two passions. When I look back at every single moment that brought me to where I am today, or just whenever I hit a big milestone, I remember feeling or wanting to feel my best, right? I was trying to feel best in the space that I was in, whether I was going for a job interview, whether I was 15 years old at McDonald's trying to get my next job in a bank, or like when I was doing collections, trying to get my foot in the door at a big like corporate company. I didn't want to do collections, but I wanted to just get my foot in the door in that company so bad that I was going to take that job if it meant I could do other things and eventually get to sales or whatever. And that didn't happen. So every single time I think about like those milestones, I felt good. And how did I feel good? I felt good because my hair was done. I was looking cute. I was looking presentable. My clothes were ironed. I had a little polish on my nails. And, I normally like to put like a little statement piece, whether it's a jewelry, of an earring, a bracelet, a watch, something that just kind of gave me that little like the little extra sparkle. So,
that seasoning, right? Like that extra
sazón,
piece of flavor, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
So now I know that you mentioned different journeys, right? You started working obviously in different fields.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when was that moment that you decided, you know what, I want to start my own thing and follow my passion? Because I know, again, we keep talking about journeys and people having ideas and never turning into anything. Mm-hmm. When did you make that big leap of faith and decided to go for it?
I think really what it came down to, so my latest position was in the mortgage industry, and I was just so worn out with hustle culture and trying to outperform. I was in a male-dominated industry as a mortgage banker, and if I was going to work 80 hours a week for anyone else, it might as well be myself. And I'll take my wins. It came with challenges of performance, of getting back to clients within 24 hours. If not, you'd get fired. Like there was urgency in keeping a commitment and building that client trust and keeping that very high standard reputation. And so I told myself if I was going to do that for anybody else, then I could do that for myself. I'm fortunate enough to have stayed there for enough time to work my way up through the trenches and to every single day, even if I didn't feel like it, just glam up a little bit and feel like that's a little bit of sparkle to feel good, get out the door and perform my best every day, because I wanted to hit high numbers. I wanted to pay my bills and then some. I didn't want to live just paycheck to paycheck. So it made me really feel like, hey, if I can do this for anybody else, like I know I can do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out, but I'm going to figure it out. And I know I can figure out. If I did all of this time they were very lax with me. I was able to manage my own time and feel like I could get ahead of myself.
So now my question to you is, how did you figure it out? Because you were going from something to me that it's completely different. You went from mortgages into now being an entrepreneur that not necessarily was dealing with numbers, with loans. You were still dealing with people, but how did you make that transition into entrepreneurship? I mean, the good thing that I heard you say was that you had discipline, you had built discipline, and you decided that discipline, you were going to apply it to your dream.
You know what? I want to actually bring a better word to the table. Grit. It's grit, right? It's like, no matter what, you had a bad day yesterday. Okay, too bad. Tomorrow is a new day. Today is a new day. I'm going to wake up, roll out of bed, and I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do whatever it takes and do the research. I'm going to make that next step, make that next move. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and connect with women. And I think that's really what it comes down to, like that grit, like not giving up and being really persistent. And really my why was because I was let down with other things in the industry, that there was a time I was so let down that I felt like I didn't have any skills or talents. I felt so bad. I remember crying with my friend being like, what am I going to do outside of banking? Like, I don't have any other talents. And she's like, what do you mean? You'll think of something. And I remember that conversation so distinctly that when I let go and took a step back, I recognized in myself that what I love to do is help women feel powerful and confident. And then that led me to looking back when you're getting ready at the quinceañeras and the parties growing up. I was that girl that was always doing my mom's hair, my sister, anybody who lets me touch their hair, trust, I will play with your hair. I don't care. So that's kind of what led to Pearlie Things.
And that's exactly what I wanted to get to, because you at some point in your life, you have that pivotal moment, right? That you were like, you know what, is this the only thing that I'm good at? And then you started searching within everything that you're passionate about, right? What was going to be that thing that you were going to do that didn't feel like going to work every day?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like in that moment, I felt so low because I was so burnt out, working so long, working so many hours. And unlike the guys that I used to work with in the mortgage industry, they went after work, after working 12 hours, they would hit the gym, go home, go to sleep, come back to work the next day. At the time, I was a wife. I had to go home. I was still expected to clean, to cook, to do all of these things that the male counterparts did not have to do. I still had to, prep my meals if I was going to do that. And even if I wasn't going to do that, I still had to wash my clothes. I would drive through the drive-thru, get a quick burger, eat it, scarf it down on the way to my house so that I had a little bit of extra time. I didn't have time to sit down and watch TV. Like I was literally always on. So I just felt like those are the things that separate us as women sometimes in these things. That's what I feel like builds us and helps us, because we're used to being multifaceted in wearing all these hats. Like, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a mom, I'm a whatever it is.
So now with your business, how do you manage to stay creative? Because, I mean, have you felt at any given moment the fatigue? Because it gets to the point where, especially when you're starting, right, that you get tired. Like, okay, what should be my next move? Like, how did you overcome that creativity fatigue that some creatives like you might feel?
I don't know if I fully have learned how to overcome it, I'll be honest. But one thing that I think just being aware of something that I like to call invisible labor, because when I'm not behind the chair, I have a really hard time when I spent all day, for example, on a Monday, right? You think of how you plan your work week: Sunday, family day, Monday, would you start your work week? I'm not open for business on Mondays. I don't normally take clients on Mondays. But what I'm doing is I'm creating content. I'm trying to plan out content. And it's not just throwing out content, putting something like a tagline and just point. No, I have to be intentional. What is the message that I want to give my audience? And how am I going to tie this in? Do I have a campaign for the month that I'm going for? You know, like February this month is get your pink back, right? Get your sparkle back. Yeah, girl, we're portraying it. This is our brand. And so how do I stay on brand with every message that I give? And the thing is that at the end of the day, on Monday, I'm so exhausted. And I'm like looking at my bank account. I don't see the money. I don't see money that day. So it's emotional labor, your energy. I spent energy all day trying to put content out, and I work from home. My business is home based. So my kitchen has to be spotless. My living room has to be spotless. So I'm waking up, I'm like cleaning everything that I need to clean. I'm exhausted, but I don't see the money that day. And that's frustrating. But I have to remember that I have to take this day to do that, because if not, I'm not going to get clients in the door tomorrow.
I love that you have shared. I mean, the struggles, number one, that women face, especially when they're either in the workforce or in the business side of hustle things, and you're in the grid of things, right? But now I want you to not just share the challenges and how you have overcome them, but what you consider some of the wins that you today could say you had from the experience since you started. Like, to share some of those small wins or big wins that, again, until right now,
I will say this.
You feel proud of.
I think one of my biggest wins, or something that I haven't fully yet mastered, is reframing my way of thinking, because I'm very hard on myself. I feel like I still have to outperform myself every single day. And the truth is that sometimes I write a list down of 30 things that I want to do. Like, my to-do list for today, Monday, or whenever the day of the week is 30 million things that I want to do. And I try to hurry up and get them done as fast as possible. And even though sometimes I don't feel satisfied that I did all of the things, I at least feel happy that I'm like, okay, if I see it, I can cross it off, and then I can go back and be like, okay, you were productive today. And I think that's my biggest thing, like just feeling like I was productive. Maybe I only got 3 things done today, and then I spent time with my son. All right, cool. That was a great day.
I love how you said that having that list and checking things off that list makes you feel like you're winning. And to me, that was a very powerful message for those women that are looking for perfection, right? Just the fact that we know that we're winning some way, somehow, even in small ways, makes such a huge difference. So thank you so much for sharing that, because to me, it's a mistake that all of us make, right? We all looking to complete and accomplish everything that we think we need to accomplish. But in reality, at the end of the day, it's about being happy and fulfilling what we feel our purpose is. So thank you for talking about the small wins. If anybody's taking notes, I want them to notate on that's a wonderful way of seeing and feeling like you're succeeding every single day. Now, if you had a piece of advice for any women out there that is looking to start anything, and I say anything because it could just be, going back and staying at home. What would that be?
If I can give anybody advice, it's to do it. And I know that sounds dumb or overplayed, but I do feel like we get in our I've always been that girl that thought myself as very confident. I was like the go-getter, I'm always like, hey, trying to bring other friends together. But I never knew how much fear gets to your head when you start, like when you have to root for yourself and you have to make your idea come to life. Because when it's just in your head, it's just in your head. But when you bring it into the world and it's tangible and it's something like an experience or a product that people can physically, into the physical space, right? I think we get in our head. It's easier to root for our friends and our family than it is to put our business out there. And I think if I've learned anything is to connect with other women that are like-minded. Leave those friends that, are not on your same, not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur, but stick with the people in whatever space you're in that are top performers, because you're going to pick up from them and they're going to want to collaborate with you. They're going to see you and you're going to see them, and you're going to see how in whatever space they are in, they're trying to do better every single time. And I think that's super powerful, just to when you're doing it on your own and when you're at home by yourself. I think just getting outside of your own space and being with other women that think like-minded. Our conversations with my group of friends is like, hey, I have this marketing idea. Oh, let me see. Talk to me about it. La, la, la. If you're not having these conversations with your circle as an entrepreneur, it's hard to get anywhere, to get started. And you have a one bad experience, you have a one client or customer that leaves you one bad review, and there's 50 million others that are positive, and it could break you. And so I just encourage everybody to really connect, right, with the women's movement, with, the fashion poor, with other women that you're seeing, that you admire. Always be looking up.
Perla, I appreciate you taking this time to come and share your journey with our wonderful community. I know everybody, again, I love that you said sometimes we get in our heads and we overthink things. But the fact that you, again, shared your journey and give us some nuggets in there. So if you want to know what those nuggets, I hope you watch the whole entire thing. But now, how do we connect with you? How do we, again, become part of your vision?
So I would say, first and foremost, make sure that you are following me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. My handle is at Pearlie Things, LLC. And say hi, jump into my DMs, let me know about, I'm very big on genuine connection. I want to get to know you. I want to pour into the women that sit behind my chair. But yeah, slide into my DMs and tell me, hey, Perla, I have an idea. How, this is my idea. What should I do? Ask me questions. Let me know. I'm here. I'm always a girl's girl. I'm more than happy to help, encourage, not just with anybody else, but, give me a few likes, comment on a few things, bring other like-minded people. If you think, that there's another girly that could use a little pick-me-up, bring them my way. You'd be surprised how honored I feel just doing a simple haircut, how that goes a long way. Or sometimes it's, trying to help somebody piece a cute, like, Perla, help me elevate my style with a cute accessory. So let me know, come my way, and sit behind my chair.
Well, ladies, you guys heard it. So follow her on social media. We're going to exchange and share all her links down below. So don't forget to like it, share it with your community, and follow all of us, both the Women Movement, Heritage Headquarters, the Negocio a Negocio via Gente Connect, and obviously our wonderful guest, Perla. We look forward to continue to share information with you guys. If you have any topics or anyone that you think we should connect with and bring them on, please don't forget to send us a message via, again, the information right below, because we want to connect with you as well. But for today, our time is over, but I'll see you in the next episode of De Negocio a Negocio.
De Negocio a Negocio es patrocinado por Gente Connect. Síguenos en nuestras redes sociales Gente Connect. Suscríbete, dale like y comenta a nuestro canal de YouTube Gente Connect.